Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Regulars, brought to you by Over a Couple of Drinks.
Hey.
We're talking tonight about the Ghostbusters trailer that was released Thursday, right? Thursday morning, I think it was.
Recently.
Recently, it's the 2016 all-female reboot. This trailer has caught a lot of flack in the last 72 hours. A lot. Oh my god. Again, no problem with an all-female Ghostbuster cast. It's more along the lines of everything else we were worried about. Let's just jump in, shall we? Okay. So the trailer starts out. I mean, by the way, this is LB's with me. Hi,
Hey.
LB. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun.
No, that's fine. Bill, what you drinking?
I got water in my Kylo Ren cup.
I'm drinking New Belgium Abbey.
That sounds
That's
yummy.
it.
Sadly, I am cutting beer out of my diet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I mean,
Or congratulations.
I don't know. Were you here for my whole? No, you weren't. You were. There was a vacation weekend. I announced that I was going to try to slim down to Jedi weight and build my own lightsaber.
Bill, have you seen Luke Skywalker? Jedi weight can be anything now.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Kyle Katarn weight.
Mm.
That's what this sexy beard is right here for. Because I want to go as him to a convention. So anyways. So the trailer starts out with an opening of New York City, and actually, this is my first problem. Did you catch it?
No.
It said 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And it shows city, and it says 4 scientists saved New York City.
Okay.
What's the problem with that statement?
30 years ago, 4 scientists. They weren't all scientists.
Winston Zeddemore was just a guy.
He was a firefighter, wasn't he?
I don't know. He was looking for a job, and he was not a scientist. And also, they saved the city twice. So that's my first beef with it. They don't even have their facts right.
That's a good point.
That
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. Then it shows the old fire station.
Yeah.
It says this summer, shows like graffiti of the classic Ghostbusters sign. A new team will answer the call. And let me get this straight right now. I honestly don't have a problem with this trailer up to this point, other than the like one little mishap because everyone, it happens, right? Someone didn't do their proof checking. There's idiots in Hollywood. And then we have a ghost, what looks like to be in a library, but at the same time, I don't think it's a library because if you look around them, it looks like it's a museum.
Yeah, they got the roped off
They get
stuff.
roped off, and there's there's not library all over the place. So I don't think it's a direct ripoff, but it's too similar to the original Ghost in Ghostbusters, which is odd to me because you'd think they'd want to branch out really far if they're rebooting it in such a degree. Am I wrong?
No, I get what you're saying.
And the ghosts in this all have this weird, bright blue, very CG look, but some of them do have the idea of like this. Maybe there might be an actor underneath it, but it's heavily CG. And okay, let me talk about the things I like. Can we do that?
Go ahead, if that's what yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you want to talk about.
No, there's a lot of things to like.
Yeah, no, I think the sets look good. The props look amazing. Kristen Wiig actually looks like she's trying to play a straight person. The straight comedy, and I like her when she's not being zany. And the same with Jenna McCarthy. Is it Jenna McCarthy?
Melissa.
I don't know. McCarthy. We'll just call her McCarthy. When she's not off the ropes crazy, I actually really, really enjoy her. And she's mostly brought in on this trailer. Like, she's playing more grounded, which is really nice. Right?
Yeah, I guess. You actually really don't see too much of her in the trailer, to be honest.
But she does this main little chunk of dialogue about how, we could supply a service to people. You're really good at mechanics and building.
Wait, who were we talking about again?
McCarthy.
Oh, yeah. No, she's all over the trailer. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
I thought you were done with Kristen Wiig.
Wig, we don't see her do too much crazy stuff, but like I'm glad because that's kind of like fitting her into this like hero or main character position kind of thing. The Bill Murray without being Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, as far as they want to be different from Ghostbusters, they all fit the roles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Wig is Bill Murray, McCarthy is Dan Aykroyd. What's her name? Kate McKinnon is Egon. Yeah. So, I mean, they fit this thing, and it for two of them, it works really well. It isn't until about a minute 10 that the trailer for me goes downhill.
Is that where they introduced the new car?
No, that's when this really dumb joke happens that is so cliche it made me want to stop the trailer, which was McCarthy touching something hot and hurting herself and going, "Ooh, that's hot." And I go, "Really? We're going for that joke? There's fucking dust on it."
No, you're right. That's when they start breaking out the slapstick.
Yeah, and that's... Look, one thing I liked about Ghostbusters, and this isn't... I'm trying really hard not to be a video of, this isn't my Ghostbusters, therefore it sucks. The one thing I really liked about Ghostbusters was how everybody, except Murray, played it straight. Played it so straight it hurt at times. You know, that they weren't like, ooh, we're going to do stupid, zany stuff. No, they were like literally everyday people trying to do something. They were exterminators, and that's how they acted. You know, Egon and Stance acted smarter because they were the hardcore scientists, but they were still very, very straight characters in the sense of, yeah, okay, shit's gonna go down, let's do this, you know? And like Murray has moments where he does do that, and then he goes off and does Bill Murray, and I honestly, those parts are cringeworthy for me to watch, but when I was hoping for something like that, where like the comedy comes apart from, you know, these kind of tense situations and like their everyday Joes. But no, we get slapstick. And then we meet, what's her name? Leslie Jones character. And she gets the car. And I'm going to pause it again. This character is a walking stereotype.
Yes.
It's painful.
Definitely.
It...
No, you're right.
I don't... Is it racist? If she's a stereotype like that, to like such a degree? I don't know. It hurts me. It physically hurts me. Because I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
I don't think it's racist so much as it's just a stereotype, period.
But isn't it racist to write a character like that? Regardless of who's playing it. We're not here to talk about that. I'm just saying the stereotype is so thick it's painful. All right? It's like if they went to an Indian restaurant and the dude was wearing a towel on his head. Seriously, like really, really bad. She's like, I know New York, and I got an uncle who can get me a car. It's a Cadillac. What? One thing I loved about... Okay, again, I'm trying not to, but like this goes back to my problem with the slapstick and the jokes that are in this, is that, you know, Ernie Hudson shows up towards the end of the movie. It's legitimately the end of the movie. And when he comes on, it's hilarious because they're asking him all these questions, and he goes, if it pays, I'll believe whatever the hell you want me to pay it. You know, I'll believe. And they go, all right, you're hired because we need the work. And like he instantly gels with the cast. He instantly is like a part of the crew, and it works really, really well. And it's just like, yeah, okay. And it's this great weird moment for me that I remember in like cinema history that will always be a part of cinema history, is that you introduce a character in the third act and he works so well with the team, you kind of go, why wasn't he in it sooner? But this is like, she forces her way into the group. She apparently sees a sighting in like the subway tunnels, which that's the other thing. There's a bunch of like little references to the original films in this.
The
like
subway tunnel.
The subway tunnel, the Slimers in it, the library ghost, possession of a character, which we'll get into. But yeah,
one thing I'm still not clear on, because I've read that they didn't want to make this a uh, a sequel. They wanted to make it basically a complete reboot set in a different universe. Yet the trailer tells you otherwise, and
We don't know.
I I don't know. Does
I
anyone know?
No, I don't know. It's like, is it a new universe or is it 30 years in the future? And like they find all the Ghostbuster stuff, and now they're working out of a Chinese restaurant. I guess it looks like they're doing instead of the old firehouse. I don't
hmm
know. Oh, and then we get to the part where I want to stop the trailer again at a minute 42, when there's like all this serious stuff going on and there's ghosts everywhere. Fucking, what's her name? I don't know these people. I'm sorry. I really don't. Kate McKinnon is like, there's a wall full of mannequins and she's standing there with a stupid wig and a dumb hat on. And Wig's like, really? And she's like, is it the hat or the wig? I need to know. And I'm like, what is this? LB, do you want to say anything?
I, I'm reading more about the movie now because I really didn't know much about Beyond the Cast before I watched the trailer, and it looks like it's the same plot. Pair
Oh,
of academes kicked out of the university or laughed out or whatever. They form a team and save the world from a demon who can control human forms, which that's exactly the first movie. Am I wrong?
no, you're pretty much spot on. And apparently, a toy release spoiled that Stay Puft is going to be in it in this weird, like, stupid looking way.
Hmm.
Yeah, like Stay Puft's in it, and like I don't know if this is supposed to be a straight reboot. You're failing miserably on this trailer. Now, who knows if the actual movie is going to be good? But it's not putting anything to rest of my fears. You know, you have terrible CGI ghosts. There's a line in it that makes me get really upset. There's this really cool shot. It's at 1 minute 35 seconds where like they walk into this like, I don't know, like hotel thing. There's a big portal to hell open up and there's just green spirits coming out. Really cool. And it's like a shot of all their proton packs on the back. Really cool shot. Reminds me of something out of the video game, which is technically Ghostbusters 3. Really neat shot. And except the line says, you know, someone is using a device to enhance whatever
Ghost activity or
ghost
whatever.
activities. And I'm like, is there going to be a villain, like a main head villain in this?
Like a human villain?
Like, yeah, like a human villain or what? And like later on, you find out that they can possess it. But I'm like, is this going to be like a main head villain? Because this leads into my next problem. Like shortly after all this, it shows them in Times Square, and there's a bunch of ghosts. Then the stupid wig joke happens, and I mean, a wig isn't a thing. The terrible CGI, like Uncle Sam ghost, looks terrible. And then you get to the scene where it's like this action scene where no, like
Go on.
this is no, like Wig pulls out like a shotgun. The McKinnon pulls out like two pistols, then licks one, and McCarthy has like this wrist gauntlet that shoots the ghosts, and I'm going, that's not Ghostbusters. That physically is not Ghostbusters. The proton pack was a lasso that
Yeah.
was to grab the ghost and put them in a trap. They have guns. The only other variant we had was a slime cannon that was used to produce positively emotional slime
Goo.
to like counteract the negative slime. And then in the game, which is a game that doesn't count, that they had like a shotgun or some other shit like that, but that doesn't count. That's a video game. You need to make it a little bit more exciting. But this makes it feel like a superhero film or like a big action set piece. And I would never describe Ghostbusters as an action movie ever.
Mm.
And I think that right there, plus like a little bit later, it looks like the ghosts are purposely targeting them by like possessing McCarthy and throwing McKinnon out the window that way. Like purposely targeting them makes it not feel like, you know, they're average Joe exterminators. Like they're supposed to be built up like superheroes, that they are a threat, you know? It doesn't mesh Ghostbusters to me. And we ragged on this movie a lot before we got anything, but when this trailer came out, I really wanted to be wrong, LB.
I don't.
I really wanted to be wrong.
I think, and I just think the problem with the movie is it's just too. It's a movie. It has these plot points you're gonna see. It's made in the classical Hollywood style, with a few tweaks here and there, obviously. But it still follows the same basic plot line. Escalating action, big action sequence at the end, like any
Yeah,
Marvel movie nowadays.
which it's a negative, but like at least Marvel still does it right.
Right. Whereas with the original Ghostbusters, it has that same progression, but it's much more. The it's very slowly paced, really. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of time spent on,
Figuring shit out.
or you could say, Bill Murray's relationship with Sigourney Weaver's character, Dana. A lot of time with those where it's really not necessary for the movie. It's not really a romantic comedy. It kind of is,
No.
but it's not like it doesn't. Like they're not even going anywhere, clearly. But there's a lot of time spent on the movie on these scenes that really have nothing to do with the main plot. A lot of character development that I don't know get from this movie.
Yeah, and if this is the quality of jokes that we're gonna get, because people who cut the trailers together want to show you this is the funniest thing in the movie. Sometimes, I mean, luckily we didn't always get it, a la Deadpool. But like, if these are the funniest ones we have, ooh, maybe I'm just old and don't get humor anymore, or what's popular. But this is rough.
Like I said, this trailer is almost entirely slapstick humor. It's the power of pain compels you. Ooh, that's hot, etc., etc. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark. Those
Yeah.
old lines. It doesn't have the same, at least from the trailer. It doesn't have the same, more subtle humor that the films had, just in dialogue, in general conversation.
Yeah, because again, I know a lot of people are saying you can't compare it to the original. Yes, I can. This is a reboot. You have to. And the quality is not here. It's just not. And like I said, I wanted so very, very much to be wrong. I did. I was like, okay, Ghostbusters, please be good. And like, I think I said this in our Mad Max one when we reviewed that was I didn't go see it right away because I was afraid of Hollywood screwing it up. Yeah, it didn't matter if the original director was there. I was afraid it was going to get boned. Like, they've done so many cash grabs on rebooting stuff. Where it's like, oh, what every 70s TV show is now popular. Let's quickly turn it into a movie. And that's what this feels like. This feels like Starsky and Hutch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this feels like, what other terrible one was there? I don't even know. I don't even remember any other ones. There's that huge, like, stint of them,
You could go with
Right? It's
Dukes
hard.
of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard? Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like it's just a cash grab. If you say A-Team, I'm going to punch you, because that was actually a pretty good film for me.
I like D-Team.
I liked A-Team. But like, because that was done with a little bit more of love. That it was still weird and strange at times. That they built something out of a van door, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But this doesn't feel like that right now, and I really wish I was wrong. I'm upset.
Like I said, it feels like it's different actors playing basically the same characters, going through basically the same plot lines, but they're trying to use, obviously updated cinematic technology and updated humor, if you will.
Yeah. Like, one of the memes is like someone showed a picture of the original Ghost, Library Ghost, and says, made 30 years ago, still looks amazing. Made in 2016, looks terrible.
Yep.
It's true.
It-
I wish they would have done something. I wish they would have done something a little bit drastically different instead of just going, it's a female cast. Who's really good with female casts right now? Let's get the guy from Bridesmaid and get most of the cast from Bridesmaid.
Mhm.
That's what it is, and it feels corporate scummy. It feels dirty, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's one of those movies that was assembled rather than created. It was, It's exactly what you said. It's find actresses who are the top right now. Find a director who makes comedies today, and here's a script that, I mean, is foolproof in that it's a very safe script. It's very safe. This movie is probably going to do well because it's very safe.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like everyone's gonna go see, even I'll probably get dragged to go see it.
I'm gonna watch it someday on DVD or Netflix. I'll watch it. You know, it doesn't
Yeah.
look so terrible. I'm not gonna watch it.
No, I'll get a hold of it, but I don't want to go out and see it. And now this video I promised would be 10 minutes to you, LB, is now 20 minutes.
Oh, thanks, Bill.
All right. This looks like garbage. I woke up my cat. He's pissed. I'm pissed. You're all pissed.
Hey, Bill.
Do better, Hollywood.
Oh, I just remembered. I'll tell you later. It's
Okay.
not important to this video. I'll leave everyone else guessing.
We'll leave everyone else guessing. Tune in next time to figure out what the hell he's talking about. Say goodnight, LB.
Good night. You thought I was going to say good night, LB, but I didn't.